All right, let's just get right into it. Hard work, talent, or your network? Which one really leads to success? I mean, it's a debate we've all had, right? And it's a question that can get super personal really fast. So today, we're going to dive right into the heart of that argument.
So the whole thing kicks off with two totally different viewpoints. You've got Team Network over here, arguing that who you know is pretty much everything. And then on the other side, you've got Team Hard Work, sticking with that classic belief that sheer effort is the undisputed champ. These are the lines drawn in the sand right from the get-go.
So, the whole argument for Team Network, it's really all about one thing: access. The idea is, look, without the right connections to open that first door for you, all the hard work and all the talent in the world, well, it might just go completely unnoticed. It's like your network is the ultimate gatekeeper to even getting a chance.
But then, of course, the counter-argument comes in, and it is a powerful one. It basically says that hard work is the non-negotiable foundation of any real achievement. You know, from this point of view, sure, a network might get you in the room, but it's your work ethic and your actual skill that's going to let you stay there.
Okay, but this is where the whole debate takes a really crucial turn. Because how can we even begin to rank these things if we haven't figured out what we mean by success? You know, what's the finish line we're all running towards? The answer totally changes depending on what the goal is.
I mean, really think about it. Is success for you climbing the corporate ladder and getting that big salary? Or is it maybe creating a stable, fulfilling life? Or maybe just surviving? The ranking of what matters most, network, talent, or hard work, it's going to look completely different for each of those goals, right?
And this brings us to a really key idea. What if we split success into two halves? First, you have opportunity, which is all about just getting your shot, getting seen. And then you have performance, which is what you do with that shot once you have it. Seriously, understanding this one difference can change the entire debate.
And this next question, man, it really raises the stakes. It forces us to get honest with ourselves. Are we arguing for what feels fair? You know, the world we wish we lived in, a perfect meritocracy? Or are we talking about what actually happens in the real world, where, let's be honest, connections and access can play a massive role?
So check this out. Notice how the pressure of this debate actually forces a shift. The person on Team Hard Work still keeps hard work at number one, of course. But look, they're forced to admit just how powerful a network is, so they bump it up to number two, right above raw talent. That's a huge concession to make.
And this might be the single biggest insight of the whole discussion. What if the real debate isn't about the order? What if it's about which one fails you first? What if we stop thinking about it like a 1, 2, 3 list and start seeing it as a chain? You know, a chain where the whole thing just completely breaks if even one link is missing. So let's look at the first link that can snap. Talent. I mean, you can have all the natural ability in the world, right? But without the discipline and the hard work to actually sharpen it, that talent just stays as wasted potential. It goes nowhere. Then there's the second potential breaking point. You can be the hardest worker in the entire room, putting in all the hours. But if you have zero access, no network to get your work in front of the right people, all that incredible effort could just be happening in a vacuum. It's totally invisible. And of course, the final way it can all fall apart. A great network can open literally every door for you. But if you don't have the competence, the talent, or the work ethic to actually deliver once you walk through that door, well, that success is going to be incredibly short-lived. The foundation just isn't there, and the whole thing comes crashing down. So see how this reframes the whole issue? It goes from being this big philosophical debate to something more like a practical diagnostic tool. Instead of asking which one is most important, we can start asking, okay, if someone isn't succeeding, which one of these three things are they missing? That's a way more useful question, don't you think?
And thinking this way, well, it leads us to some genuinely uncomfortable truths. It makes us question if a pure meritocracy is even real. Where's that blurry line between good networking and just straight-up nepotism? How much of what we call effort is actually just plain old luck? And think about this, we only ever hear from the survivors, the ones who made it. What about all the people who worked just as hard, were just as talented, and just disappeared?
So yeah, there's clearly no easy answer here. This debate is far from settled. And that's why, right now, we want to turn the question over to you.
We really want to know what you think. So drop your ranking down in the comments. Hard work, talent, network, what's your 1, 2, and 3? But here's the important part. Don't just give us the order. Tell us why. What's the thinking behind your ranking?
And hey, as you're typing out that comment, here's a little challenge for you. Be honest with yourself. Is your ranking based on what you've actually lived through, what you've seen work out there in the real world, or is it based on what you wish was true?
And we're going to leave you with one last thing to think about. If we agree that success isn't just about one person's individual effort, that it also depends on things like access and even luck, then what do we owe the people who try and fail? What's our responsibility to those who give it their absolute all and still don't make it?